South African citizen working in Zimbabwe got sick there. When he went to medical center to request medical attention, they refused to assist him. A Zimbabwean woman crossed the border to give birth in South Africa, scored herself 17.2 million rand.
Let's really see if South Africans deserve to carry the problems of other African countries when they also have their own problems. Now I understand that South Africans were actually right. Now, firstly, I would like by asking, like, what kind of country is this? Like, what kind of country is this that in your country you can't even boast of paracetamol? But then let's be sincere to ourselves. How can we carry all the burdens in Africa and place it on South Africa?
A South African citizen working in Zimbabwe got sick there. When he went to medical center to request medical attention, they refused to assist him. A decision was made to let's send him to the border gate, and then Dr. Popira Mutuba sent the medical team in South Africa to welcome him there. Then he was also there to welcome the South African citizen. Guys, let's be honest to each other. A couple of days back, you see here, these ladies, they were rejected at a certain hospital in Gauteng to get the medical attention. And then South Africans, they protected these ladies and said it is wrong to send them away while they want medical attention. Our own South African is in Zimbabwe. He wants assistance in terms of the medical attention. They reject to give him. Tina, we have to give Zimbabweans medical attention in South Africa. Meanwhile, our own South Africans, when they are on the other side, they don't get medical attention. Is this fair? I'm just asking that. Is this fair? Nah. Shout out to Dr. Popira Mutuba. We thank you, Mama, for standing up for South Africans. Even we still remember even the other saga, Uguti, the ladies from Zimbabwe come to South Africa and give birth, and South Africans, they attacked you. We really appreciate the work that we are doing. Hi, guys. A Zimbabwean woman crossed the border to give birth in South Africa, scored herself 17.2 million rand. Here's how it happened. Yeah? This lady, she was in Zimbabwe pregnant, and then after being pregnant, doing her follow-ups in Zimbabwe, she found out or the doctors in Zimbabwe, this was found by Dr. Popira Mutuba when she was doing an investigation. The doctors in Zimbabwe, they knew that this woman has complications on her pregnancy. So those doctors, they told the woman to seek extra medical help in South Africa. So when this woman came to South Africa, she gave birth, and then during her process of giving birth, there was some mistakes that happened. Obviously, the doctors in South Africa, they didn't know the complications that this woman had because of she was not doing normal follow-ups in South Africa. So when she gave birth, the child was born with cerebral palsy. So now this woman, the court says, good, the Department of Health must pay her 17.2 million rand. Can you imagine?
Hi, beautiful people. You welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Just Cheesy. Please, I will be obliged if you don't skip any part of this video. Now, about the pregnant Zimbabwean lady that came to South Africa to give birth, and she was asked to go back to her country, right? So South Africans actually had to refer to what happened before, like previously. I don't really know when that happened, right? They had to flash back on what happened when a South African living in Zimbabwe, yeah, I guess the person was working in Zimbabwe, the person fell sick, the South African fell sick, right? And according to South Africans, they said the Zimbabweans rejected the South African simply because he is or she is a South African, right? They refused to treat her. That it took the intervention of the family members or the government to fly this South African from Zimbabwe back to South Africa to receive treatment, right? So the video which you saw was actually when the South African was when she was brought or he was brought back to the country, right? They had to fly him or her back to South Africa for adequate treatment. I would like you to go through some of the comments. Yeah, some of the comments. I would like you to, I wouldn't want to say it myself. I would like you to go through the comments. Then when we come back, when we come back, you tell me whose fault is it. Like most Zimbabweans are saying that it's not their fault, that the South African wasn't attended to, that it wasn't their fault, that in their country they do not have even painkiller, they don't have paracetamol. I don't really know how possible that could be. So I would like you guys to go through the comment section, just go through the comments and see the comment yourself. Then when we come back, let's really see if South Africans deserve to carry the problems of other African countries when they also have their own problems. Now, from what I discovered from this comment, I guess South Africans, they were right. Yes, they were right when they said that 90 to 95% of Zimbabweans come into their country for treatment, including those that are sick and also the pregnant women. In fact, that 100% of pregnant Zimbabwean women come to their country to give birth. You see, at first, I felt probably at least it could be at least, let's say maybe like 50%. But from what I've seen, like from this comment, now I understand that South Africans were actually right. Now, firstly, I would like by asking, like, what kind of country is this? Like, what kind of country is this that in your country you can't even boast of paracetamol, you can't boast of painkillers? Like, I sincerely don't understand. I know that yes, Africa is not doing well. Trust me, Africa is not doing well, and that's why most Africans that travel to South Africa, to them is like they're in a different world. Are you getting it? But then let's be sincere to ourselves. How can we carry all the burdens in Africa and place it on South Africa? Like as if I don't understand. I don't understand, because if we all continue to do this, trust me, this country called South Africa would definitely collapse because the burden is getting too much. The burden is getting too heavy on this country. How can just one country cater for almost all the countries in this continent? Like if your country, Zimbabwe, if you guys don't have a paracetamol, how is that supposed to be problems of South Africa? No, you guys have your own president. South Africa have their own president. Whatever thing that South Africa have, you guys also have your own. But it's just that your government isn't taking care of the citizens, and it's nobody's fault. Now, 2 days ago, that I made the video concerning the Zimbabwean pregnant lady, and I repeated by saying that South Africans said to me that 90 to 95% of pregnant women, pregnant Zimbabwean women, they always cross to South Africa to give birth. And when I said that, someone doubted me at the comment section, I guess in TikTok, right? The person said that whosoever that told me that actually lied. Are you getting it? Now, from what those people have said here, that means South Africans are 100% right. Like they actually said the truth. Are you getting it? Because in the whole country, where the hospitals don't have paracetamol, they don't have painkillers, that means they do not have what it takes to save human lives. They do not have what it takes to give birth. And that means South Africans are saying the truth, that Zimbabweans, anyone that falls sick, they move to their country for treatment. So why should those people continue to doubt South Africans? Why? If you don't have paracetamol in your country, that means it's as if you don't there's no hospital in your country. And that means you guys, you Zimbabweans, cross to South Africa to receive treatment and to give birth. As simple as that. And this is exactly why South Africans are so pissed. Like they are so pissed. How can you go to hospital? You are so down. You go to hospital in your country, not that you are a visitor or you travel to another country. In your own country, if you go to the hospital is already filled up with foreigners. They are filled up with Zimbabweans. both those that are sick and those that have given birth and those that are about to give birth. Hello, hello. Sometimes let's just try to be saying the truth, no matter how hard it is. I can't even imagine myself dragging best with an illegal foreigner in my country. Honestly speaking, you can imagine when someone is sick and you are being taken to the hospital and you discover that illegal foreigners, like not even foreigners with documents, like illegal foreigners, undocumented foreigners, they have taken over all the best in the hospital, and you'll be asked to either you go to another hospital. What if you go to another hospital and there is also no bed space, or you needed an urgent attention? Are you getting it? So what will you do? What will you do? This can be so annoying, honestly.